These numbers really cement the 4 times indicted defendant candidate's status as the frontrunner in the Republican field. The race for second place had a little bit more drama, with Nikki Haley and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis locked in a dead heat for most of the night.
Recently at a reception in Massachusetts, President Biden said that he wasn't sure he'd even be running for re-election in 2024 if Trump wasn't running. But, quote, "we have to stop him." Donna Brazile recently said that Democrats are just sort of comparison shopping right now until Biden becomes the nominee. And once he is officially the nominee, they will rally around him regardless. Where are you on the Biden age issue?
If you would have asked me that question maybe 3, 4, 5 years ago when I was kind of a younger Democrat, I would have given you like a super liberal and let democracy reign and let everybody run answer. And now I hate to sound like a part of some bigger establishment, boring answer, but he is the answer right now. And it is incredibly telling that we don't have anyone else popping up, really making it difficult for him to do this. But also, I don't hear anything that I find compelling as a reason for why he shouldn't be running. And so Biden's age coming up is everyone falling into the trap of narrative. That is a Trump narrative that we are all repeating. I think it's very similar to critical race theory. If you remember, I was going to a lot of different Democratic forums in the years 2021 and 2022, and in rooms full of only Democrats, we're talking about critical race theory. Nonsense junk science that had nothing to do with reality, but yet that narrative shaped how we were talking even amongst ourselves. So Biden's age and that narrative, that is actually going to be helping only one person, and that's Donald Trump.
I think there might have been maybe some good news for Biden, though, in the numbers tonight. This caucus turnout wasn't anything.
No, it was actually small. Yeah. Even after all of the Iowans were saying, we're fine, we're going to put on socks and go out in the cold.
Maybe that's the weather, maybe that's the fact that it's a blowout, but I think it's just something to keep an eye on. 167,000 last time. It looks like we're at 120-something right now. So a big downtick from 2016. The other thing is 32%, if Trump is convicted, is unfit to be president. That's a big number, even if that's off, even if it's 22%, and even if he's not convicted. Yeah. That's a group of people for the Biden campaign to work from. Like, they can speak to those people and they can persuade those people, and that is a persuadable audience. The folks that went out there to vote for Nikki Haley today, it seems like most of them are pretty sick of Donald Trump.
I just want to point out that while Kennedy was young and apparently healthy, he was not healthy at all.
Right.
He was very unhealthy. He had Dr. Feelgood injecting him with God knows what all the time. And not only that, I think now there's been more transparency than ever as far as the president's health goes. We understand a lot of what's going on with him. We know he has a physical therapist. We know he has, all these things. He's taking care of himself. And I think that's extraordinary right there. Not only is he taking care of the country, he's taking care of himself. And that shows a discernment beyond his years.
So I am so tired of people saying, we don't want either one of these guys to run, yet they have no idea on the Democratic side who they would actually put out there to run. And so here's what I want to say. Joe Biden is a good president. He's always been a good president.
That's my point. You got to bring it to that level so that people understand he's my boy. They got to connect with this guy. And he is connectable. So let Donald Trump try to shorten that runway by coming out of New Hampshire saying, okay, let's do it. I'm ready. I'm ready too. Where you want to meet so I can talk about your 91 indictments. So I can talk about your E.G. Carroll problem. And I can talk about the money you have to pay out. Oh, are your donors still paying your legal bills? This is the level that the campaign has to be prepared to go. And if you don't really want to see your boy get into that space, meaning the president, okay, then the political operation around him has to go there.
He is my guy, and he's always been my guy. And here's why I think that we should stop having this conversation. His age isn't going to change. He's going to stay 80 years old, and he's going to be 4 more years older by the time this is all over. And he's done some amazing things. So let's just talk for 1 minute about some of the amazing things that he's done that nobody recognizes because they keep talking about him being too old. The infrastructure bill. He got that done, and it's bipartisan. And you know what Donald Trump got done? Nothing. Inflation Reduction Act, which has done so much for so many people. Do you know what Donald Trump got done? Nothing. So when people keep talking about Joe Biden and his age, it is completely irrelevant to the work that he's done and to the cabinet that he surrounds himself with. So all I want Democrats to do is when anybody asks them about Joe Biden is to say, he's been a great president and he's my guy, because he's my guy.